that some of the student asking about your individual as well as your group. If you have any problem, please try your best to ask me, okay? Maybe after your next week it will be your semester break, right? Then after the break you will be resumed back to campus. I just want to highlight to you, I'm trying my best to finish the class as soon as possible because from 20th of May up to 30th, I will be traveling to Japan with the Prof VC. But at that point of time, this class I think I managed to cover all the lecture before I go to Japan. And then my postdoc, Dr. Shazwani, she will help me whenever you got problems. As you resume back to the campus, you can either meet me when I back from Japan, or you can meet with Dr. Shazwani. Okay, and then actually I also will perform haji. So, but I did not get the time yet. But I'm trying my best to complete everything, but maybe during your test, I will be not around. But you no worries, if you got any problem, you can directly text me. Even though I was not in Malaysia, I could assist you. Okay. Let's let us just refresh back what have been learned before Hari Raya. During our last meeting, I already share with you on how to write technical writing in a proper manner, whereby as an engineer you cannot make an excuses from doing any reports. Whether you are, I keep stressing that these are the three main area that you might be working. One, Mustamam ni nak tanya apa? Ada nak tanya ke?
Tak ada tertekan tadi. Sorry.
Okay. Alright. So basically, you as a civil engineer, you might be work in a contractor firm, in a consultant firm, or in any developers, which regards to the construction industry. Okay. No matter what are the construction, they might be doing the structure work or the infrastructure, such as drainage, roadways, all the infrastructure. Okay. But no matter where are you working, basically you cannot run away from making a technical report, because your company will be assigned a task to complete with a very specific time frame. Therefore, when you had a task, you have to transfer the task in the form that could be written up. So in such a way, in this class, we are trying our best to teach you, when you are having a problem at your company to finish up, how to write the problem, how to write the task in the form of problem statement. Okay, what is it problem statement telling you about? Normally, when you receive a tender or when you receive a job, you will receive together your executive summary or your background of the project. From that, whether you like it or no, you have to digest back the executive summary, the background, into something that could be understandable to be solved. Okay, when you get the executive summary of your project or the background of your project, so you have to transfer first in the form of problem statement, because from the problem statement you can itemize the problem to come out with the objective. Very rare, very rare when you got the tender of the project. See, you are winning a BQ. You want to get a tender, you have to fill up the BQ of any project. When you have the winning any tender, you have to refer back to your BQ, bill of quantity. In this class, basically I believe most of the term you are familiar with. So You have to refer back to the BQ and then transfer the information in the form that could be understandable and be solved. Okay. First, last week I already shared about what is it problem statement all about. Problem statement basically when you have the situation of the task, once your company got the job, of course, there are something to be solved. When you want to solve with any method, basically you already fill in the BQ. But be careful. Even though you already have the BQ, you have to well understand the BQ in terms of technically how it want to be solved. Okay, we get back to the problem statement. In the problem statement, basically how you want to address the situation. First, as I mentioned last week, you have to understand how serious is the problem currently, or if your client already implements certain method. So, what is wrong with the method, or why is there they need improvement, or what? Or maybe they are not adopted the method, but the company want to try to adopt a new method. Example, your company received the project to build up a hotel using lightweight material. Even though construction a hotel is a common task, but when your company is using a special lightweight material, you have to understand how does the lightweight material will reflect the design that you want to adopt. So first of all, when you want to come across to understand the problem statement, you have to understand what is the current situation. So what is the current situation? I repeat, meaning that if the company already have the method, you have to see what are the method that they use. If before this your company is already involved with the hotel construction, you have to look at the previous project. What are the technology that the company adopted? If that was the first time your company received the project which regards to hotel construction, you have to study in detail from other company, how does it want to start. But no worries, when you want to study, you have the BQ in your hand. I'm sure you are in the BQ, they already itemized in detail from cut and fill. And then when you already have cut and fill finish, you got the foundations work, and then you will do the infrastructure and then up to the finishing work. So first you have to look what is the current situation, and then once you already identify what is the current situation, look it. Number two is what is wrong. I try to analyze the advantages and disadvantages uh, from the previous project. If the project is to be the same, what is the best practice from the previous project, and then what is wrong normally you can tackle from if the project delay, especially what caused the delay. Because once you receive the project, you already promised to your client to finish up the work within the time frame given. So this is very important because you are working with your client. What happened if you already lagging behind? So in order for you to get the return as much as what you expected, you have to follow the timeline, or else it will deduct certain portion, certain percentage, or certain once you already late. So your client normally will give some punishment to your company through percentage of punishment. No, right? Maybe your company will be given like how many percent of punishment above the lagging behind. Okay. And then to the worst scenario, if your company is showing a very bad experience, so your company will be paid up to the progress work before your company will be terminated. But this is the worst scenario. So please be careful with when you are really be an actual engineer. So what is wrong and then what need to be done? So in the problem statement, finally you have to propose your idea. What need to be done? So once you propose your idea, you should be able to analyze that the proposed idea you are able to execute within this time frame as well. So this is very important. Whatever that I teach in the previous class is important for your work as well as for you to finish up your final year project, your FYP1 as well as FYP2. In your FYP1, you are asked to complete chapter 1 to 3. So in the chapter 1, basically you are asked to complete things like introduction or background, and then second thing problem statement. So introductions and problem statement, introductions, background and problem statement, they are two different things. They are two different things. Please bear in mind, you are not supposed to copy whatever you write in the introductions and problem statement the same, because problem statement basically you already focusing on what you want to solve based on three things that I mentioned just now. What is the current situation? What is wrong? What need to be done? Introduction is to tailor your reader the broad idea up to the specific idea. But in the how you want to tailor the reader from your title, each of your FYP or each of your project, normally you came out with a title. From the title, you have to itemize the keyword to ease you to understand what is the broad idea of the title until what is the focusing idea on your title. So this is very important. So after you got the introductions, background, as well as the problem statement, so now you are asked also to do the objective, right? So last week also I told you why you need an objective, because you got the time frame to finish your work. Of course, whatever objective that you want to projected must be enough within the time frame given to you. So this is also very important. So meaning that the time frame will determine how many objectives that are able to be finished. Normally for FYP, don't do too many objectives. It's just two. Minimum like two is okay. If but our focus is to make sure even you have the two objective, you have to do the experimental work or the data gathering very very well, whereby you are asked not to run only one collection period, but say you want to do some material work, you are asked to do replicate of your sample like 3 or 5, meaning that you cannot do one. If one sample turning wrong, so you don't have any more sample. So that is the basic gist of the objective. And then once again, objective, they have the verb to what, to determine, to characterize, uh, to study. The verb like characterize, determine, study must be measurable, realistic, and have the specific time frame to be finished. This is very very important. You cannot have the verb that is unmeasurable. So finally in the chapter 1, after you got the objective, you must have the scope and limitation of your work. Scope is what you have to do everything. The same goes when you are being an engineer. You have to finish everything within the time frame given to you. All right, within the time frame given to you. So that was the scope. And then when you have the scope, you also have the limitations. So as of today, I will be sharing After you understand the chapter 1, this is your chapter 2, information gathering. Let me share with you uh, information gathering. So basically, information gathering involving things like your slide is moving or no? Hello class, your slide is moving or no?
Yes.
Okay, even though I already sent through WhatsApp, some of you, if you cannot access from the WhatsApp, you can see directly with the slide that I show. So on information gathering, these are the topic basically we want to went through this week. Okay, what is it? Information gathering. So information gathering is actually the process of gathering information. The process of gathering informations. So in the process of gathering information, basically you can use several tools. Several tools. What are the tools or the methods? The tools or the methods could be like from the survey work, from the interview, from the test, psychology, assessment, observation, recording, review, or you can have also biological sample. This is how you gather information, right? And then how you want to get the information? It may be through the experience, but when you make a technical write up, it's not we have information and we have valid information. When you have it from your own experience, yes, you already went through the experience, but we want that as in a valid information. Valid information is something that you can get from the books, journal, journals, periodicals, or report or patent. These are a valid information because why it is valid? It is documented. Documented. It is documented, and then they are information who is write up the books or the journals or the pattern, and then when the journals book and pattern was write up. So if you know when, so you know the validity of the information. Was the informations still valid in the current years, or the if it is not just like a normal Google. It is different when you Google directly from the internet. When you want to derive the informations back in the forms of writing, you have to write down the date of Google. Because maybe you went through a website of the company. You went through the website of the company. The company maybe updated the information within certain time frame. So maybe every 3 months, every month, we never know. So when you get informations from the website, please don't forget to write down the retrieve date. Write down the retrieve date, because the retrieve date is very important for you to ensure that that information is valid when you try to access the informations. Okay, when you want to try to access the information, that information is valid. But it's different from books, journal, prodigal, and pattern, because when these are the document that's already proofread as well as verified. Verify by whom? Verify by third party in say like journal. It's not easy to publish a journal. When you send your paper to any journal, it takes time for the reviewer to validate the information that you sharing, and then like whatever they publish is already updated to the current situation. All right, is very different with the one that you access directly from the internet or what. Okay, this one I want you to be more clear. When you write a technical report, it is a must. Wajib it is a must for you to grab the information from the documented informations for all the valid informations like books, journals, periodicals, and patent. Beside that, information could also be gathering from human interactions through interviews, focus group survey. But when you want to have interviews, survey, you don't forget to come out with a set of questions. What you want to survey or interview should be reflect with the title of your study, the title of your work. So you must have the set of you must have the set of question. You cannot just blurry ask. No, the set of question must be you have to do the prelim test first to ensure that when you ask the people could understand the question. You have to prelim first. After you already do the preliminary interview or survey, then you will conduct the actual one. If the results say that more than 50% of the respondent understand. If less than that, you have to revise the construction that being you have to revise the question that being constructed. So this is very must. Any question about the source? This is very important. Don't simply example, how many percent of the website informations of the Google information can be used in the technical report. The best is, say, I give you an assignment, your group assignment as well as individual assignment. I'm hoping you are getting informations from books, journals, patent, and periodical. If you want to score more marks, these are the source that I was expected. What happened if you just look at the Googles without citing any references or what? So that is where I can deduct your mark because I am not so sure the validations of your informations. Also, this is very important. Once again, I repeat, please try your best to get the informations from books, journals, periodicals, or as well as the patent, because this is valid informations. How much actually you can get from the website? The less is better, but normally when you get from the website for your FYP or what, we don't allow you citing too many. Of course, 80% to 90% of your citation must come from books, journals, or periodical or patent. Like 5 to 10% only be allowed. So if you cite many from the website, so your mark will be deducted in the informations or literature as well as in the references. So what do you think? Why you want to gather information? Informations is very important, especially when you want to uh, when you want to when you require some information. So when you require some informations, whether you like it or no, so you have to try your best to find information, because as a student you cannot run away from getting information because you do have many assignments. This the information will differentiate from you and your friend, from group to group. Some group, they just copy whatever from the website or internet without analyzing. So nowadays there are various AI tools that can be used to validate. Even though you are copying from the I can I am able to know. So don't try to copy paste or just run your AI software to work for you, especially in the group work. If the group is the group work, so you have to segregate the tasks equally. So to get the information, even though you think you know some software, I do know the software as well. All right. So why we want to get the information for you to why do we get the information? Because we want to know some knowledge, information to start and solve the problems. All right. If you don't have the informations, you are not able to solve the problem statement as well as the objective that you plan to do. Then, when you gathering information also, you have to try your best to gather the most latest 5 years information, latest 5 years, except the information is very theoretical. Say, you are doing your FYP 1 in 2023. So, 5 years back, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019. So, these are the 5 years informations that are highly valid, highly valid. I did not say if less than 5 years is not valid, but 5 years is the latest technology normally being shared in the established journals website or books, online books. So please bear in mind when you get the information, also you are working to understand the information within a certain time frame as well. And then you must clearly focus how to solve the problem. And then the purpose of you finding information, of course, facts and figures. What is the accurate fact? That's why when you want to get the accurate facts, you got no choice. You have to refer to the documented fact. You cannot just browse from the internet, from the Google, as well as from the website, that because that is not considered as an accurate fact. Accurate fact must have the person that write the fact, yes, the publish, and then the fact must be validated by somebody else that was expert in the field as well, like journals had been verified normally by minimum 3 reviewer before the journals will be published. So these are to confirm the fact, and then beside confirming the facts, also you get the information to look for the relevant knowledge. To look at the relevant knowledge. And then, what are the 5 sources of informations? 5 sources of informations can be come from workers and general public, service provider, open source, official sources, or criminal sources. These are the 5 sources of informations. So this only the picture. What are the 5 workers? Workers can be construction, street vendors, service provider. Who are your service provider? They can be government, NGO, agency. These are the service provider. And then criminal sources. Uh, they can we can get information from our suspect. So this might be on the criminal cases. And then you also have the official sources like company. Normally they will release the report of the company, or the government agency, like any government agency, mereka ada apa, laporan tahunan, yearly report. So this we consider as official sources. Open sources like TV, radio, internet, and social media. How to find informations? How to find informations? When you want to find information, so nowadays you can use various search engines, like you can use Chrome, you can use Explorer, or you can use whatever search engine that you're familiar with. After you use the search engine, once you use the search engine, of course, you must use the right keyword, because the right keyword will help you in identifying the best document that you are looking for. And then when you want to write the best or specific keyword, you have to ignore the unhelpful word. How you get the specific keyword or to remove unhelpful words? This is from the title of your work, right? Then after you remove the unhelpful one, okay, now you can start searching by more focusing ideas. How to find information? The first one to find information for the first one is summarize your key finding. Summarize your key finding. Summarize the major finding, because how you want to summarize from the documented informations like books, journals, or patent, you have to summarize that. And then you need to share your interpretations. Identify the pattern of the previous work. Beside identify the pattern, you have to find the relationships among the data that you have, discuss whether the result meet your expectation or no, and then contextualizing your finding with the previous research, and explain unexpected result. Also consider possible alternative explanations. So this is how you share your interpretations. After you share your interpretations, the third one in finding information is to discuss the implication. So once you plan to do the task, you must look at the implications when you plan. First one, show the relevance and implications of your task or research. Relate your result back with the previous literature. Whenever you solve the problem, basically, you are expected the output of the problem that you are looking after, right? And you have your aim. What does the result should be? Say, if you develop a hotel with the lightweight material, so you expected at the end of the day, how does the hotel looks like? And then within the time frame or no, and then why does the company is preferred on the lightweight? They are the aims. If you uh, try to find informations that are the aim is for what, okay? And then after you discuss the implications, you must understand your limitations, okay? Your limitation. That's why you have the scope of your work. You need to provide the big picture. What can concluded from your study? What you can do and what you cannot do. This is the best. Acknowledge your limitation. What can you do within the time frame of your work given? And what can't you do? And then even though you already try your best to solve the work, and but you must take your recommendations as well. Make your recommendations. Okay, look at the example of how to find information. This is, you can browse at the Sign Direct. How to browse at the Sign Direct? You can directly Google the Sign Direct website, or you can enter Sign Direct from UTHM library. You can do it now. So you can Google in the Sign Directs or enter the Science Direct through UTHM library. What is the difference if you direct Google from your home or from the library? If you direct Google from your home, they maybe many of the information you cannot get the actual paper. Most of the time you can only read the abstract. But if you log in as a student from the outside with your student ID to the PTTA website or library website, you can get more informations in detail. So, example in the Science Direct, when you open the Science Direct, they are the first keyword. Find article. Find article. You try example. You want to find on the nanoparticles. This because your study is about the nanoparticles. So, what is the result? You have about 800 result, 500 result. This is too many. Once you see this is too many, you can find through your title. Okay, refine your title by putting other keywords. Okay, what are the keywords? How you find the title or the refined title? From your title of your FYP or title of your jobs. So you refine the keyword by putting nanoparticles, zinc, antibiotic, and wastewater. This is your uh, directed keyword that you added to reduce. So find article with this term. You want them to understand nanoparticle and information about the zinc, antibiotic as well as the wastewater. See, the information is already reduced from 500 over result to 3,000 result. Alright, 3,000. So they already find through, refine to 3,000 because you already refine the keyword. Zoom in the keyword to the more specific word, to the more specific one. After you zoom into the more specific one, and then the third one, please refine by years. This is what I told you. You can refine by 5 years or that particular year. If you refine only this year, you will get about 31 result. But try to refine in 5 years back. 5 years back. Right? If you refine 5 years back, so the data will be increased some more. So I will later you can browse through. You can browse through from your handphone or laptop. So this is our library, our PTT. I am not so sure. All of you already been to our PTTA or no, but no worries. Nowadays we do have many online sources. Even though you are at home, you could access the sources. But please make sure you enter the PTTA, our library facilities, by using your student email and password, or else most of the informations in the forms of abstract only. So the library, especially the place that will keep the validated informations from the books, manuscript recordings, and films. Okay, because the functions of the library only for the place of keeping books but not for sale, right? So this is the soul of the library. They are not selling the books, but they will rent the physical book, they will lend the physical book to student. You boleh pinjam within the time frame, or the student could access the online information nowadays very very cheap. Uh, if you go to the normal website, sometimes you want to access the journal, you have to pay. But in the library, most of the informations is free for you. Because you need to access from the student ID. You pakai you punya student ID dengan student password to get the informations that will be uh, will be gathered through the online sources in the library. So, what are the facilities that we have in the library? You have the circulation center if you want to buy the hard copy. If you want to lend, pinjam, the hard copy one. At the library also you have an open reading idea, and then reference desk for you to refer. Sometimes the information journals or book is not heavy in the library UTHM. They maybe have in the library. You can go to the reference desk asking ni penasihat pegawai ni, penasihat pembaca to lend for you. You boleh pinjam example, buku or journal ada di library dengan UKM. It's unnecessary you need to go to the library or at library. You just ask them by giving them the reference number. Normally I know I did this when I was a student time studying, and then the request only takes about 2-3 days up to 1 week. Then I will get the request once the outside library connected with our uni library. So this is very important. Senang saja. Uh, the library will assist you in lending any books from the library domestic and dalam Malaysia. If outside, normally the library have to pay. Have to pay. And then we also have the self-check machine. You can lend the books, pinjam atau pulang buku melalui self-check-in machine, or the library also provide you with the meeting and discussion room as well. So these are basically the shelf. Sebenarnya dekat library ni setiap tingkat ni dia ada tema. Engineering tingkat berapa, science social tingkat berapa, okay? And then these are the reference desk, and then these are the shelf for books and journals. And then we also have the open area or discussions area, and then exam area. All right. Online exam paper. Online exam paper whereby you can also see the example of online paper. I believe all students, you already understand this one. Online exam paper could be gathered from the library as well. Kalau you ada soalan, tolong tanya Online information, what are the information provided in online? So normally research guided by subject, online indexes, electronics books or journals, catalog, online reference sources, sound recording, image and database. These are all the online informations. So this is again, what is it all about? Online informations. Online informations which are ebooks. Nowadays you can download an ebooks, but be careful. Normally the ebooks are only how many percent that is free, even though you want to use as a reference or the ebook, and then you could not find in the library, you can go to penasihat pembaca tadi to ask how they could assist you in finding the ebooks. And then these are the 4 UTHM journals that already have in the library. We do have 4 UTHM journals, right? Online information resources only could be getting from others, others database like IBM, MySQL, Snowflake, MongoDB, Amazon. All right, so these are the online informations. Online information resources is the database accessible from a local network or the internet. All right, so these are the online informations that normally UTHM, we do have our own server to look after our online informations, and the server will be protected with a specific firewall from the hackers. Nowadays, if you are smart in the ITs, you can hack the system. But UTM system under the Pusat Teknologi Maklumat, we do have the firewall. That's why don't share your password to somebody else. So what are the three types of digital library? The three types of the digital library included institutional repository, national library collection, and digital archive. So what is the institution repository, including your FYP, collections, papers that published by student, UTHM student as well as UTHM staff. National Library, Pustakaan Negara. A nation library is established by a government as the country. And then what is the functions of National Library? National Library adalah tempat yang boleh mengeluarkan nombor pendaftaran digital. Digital atau hard. ISSN ni hanya boleh dikeluarkan nombor pendaftaran digital atau hard copy oleh perpustakaan negara sahaja. And then what is digital archive? A place of storage for housekeeping of the digital informations, like file, invoice, and other document. We also share with you others Perpustakaan Negara Malaysia ataupun Perbadanan Pustakaan yang lain. So online information resources. A portal is a web-based platform that collects information from different sources into a single use. Right? And that was a portal. So what is the vertical portal? Vertical portal designated for a specific interest of target or community. And then what is horizontal portal? Collect and present information sources across wide range of interests. And then marketplace portal, marketplace including media, access portal, search portal, and geographical portals. So what is the difference between website dengan portal ni? So dia ada different dia. Tadi saya kata yang ini you are not supposed to understand in detail, but at least you know what is the website and then what is the portal. How does they construct the website using a simple tool, but the portal must be used the modular one. Website is to provide informations, and then for portal they only inform and collect information. So if the portal one, they only identify of the user group, content of the website, a small range of topic. Portal normally wide range of topic. Access of content. Normally website semua orang boleh access. Portal siapa yang buat ni, they will ask you to log in. So they know who are the people that log in the portal. And then interactionnya di website adalah simple, but at the portal more complex one. And then normally website ni they only have one admin because everybody could access, but portal normally they do have a group of administrator. So the system of the portal must be more complex. Benefit of a web portal. So what is the benefit of a web portal? They will be agile, user-friendly, look sophisticated. And then they do have the content aggregations, single sign-on, customized interactions, and personalization. So these are the online information resources. What is it? Literature review and writing skill. A literature review is a type of critical review whereby you have the information and then you have to write back in a chronology form, in the form of critical review. So, and then the purpose is to provide the reader an overview of the research. So, what is the purpose of the critical review? To gain understanding and to present the knowledge. Yeah? For me as academician, literature review is very important because as academician, we do have many research students. So I need to be more careful in conducting the research, not to duplicate any research from outside, because nowadays the AI are very intelligent in finding the information. So literature review only need us to analyze and synthesize the finding from whatever informations that we read. So what different the literature review and the writing skill? The literature review, the the clustering of the literature review, they you must start thinking as the whole thinking first. You must have the background or the general idea of your technical writing. When you have the general idea, you have to zoom in the idea, to a more specific one until you got the key or the gap, until you got or you get the key research or the gap of your research. Firstly, it is a broad idea from the. Try to remember the example that I already shared just now when we do have the nanoparticles. Nanoparticles is the brief ideas or the brief title. And then when you want to get information, you have to zoom into the more specific research. When you zoom in, you put other words like zinc, antibiotics, wastewater. That is where the verb that can zoom in. Before you have 500 over 500 over k informations. Now when you be more specific verb, the informations end up to only 3,000 from the 500,000. And then you zoom into the current ideas as well as finally you zoom into the keywords. So dia makin lama mesti makin fokus. Jangan nak idea. Jadi macam mana you nak tahu makin fokus? Bila you menulis literature review ni, you ada paragraph ataupun you ada subtopic. Jadi bila you ada paragraph pun, each of the paragraph must write down one subject matter only. Jadi dari paragraph pertama tu ataupun subtopic pertama more general, and then when you come to the final subtopic, it should be more focus. Alright, more focus. So how to write a literature review? You have to search for relevant literature. You have to evaluate the sources, identify the gaps. This is very important. When you do the research or when you want to complete the problem statement, you must find the research gap. And then once you have the research gap, then you can outline the structure plus the objective, what to be solved. And then after you know what to be solved, then you write down the literature review. The literature review should be able to back up the objective. Macam mana nak mencapai objektif mesti ada di dalam literature review. So this is make a list of the keyword. Kalau you buat FYP, you ada tajuk and then you ada keywords. In the title itself, you must find out the general keywords and the specific keywords. But dalam keyword sebenar, you are not supposed to repeat the title. Bila you buat FYP, dia ada suruh tulis tajuk dengan keyword kan. Keyword sebenar yang dia perlukan adalah perkataan lain yang seperti dengan title or synonym. Other words that similar to the title. So when you have the paper, this is the orientation of the paper. First, you have the title, and then you have the abstract, introductions, methods. This is an example of the paper. When you get the information, you can ask yourself, is it the primary or secondary or tertiary literature? As if that was the primary literature, that result is getting from the immediate result of the research, and this we call the primary literature. The information will be named as the secondary literature. Kalau you dapat satu paper, dalam paper tersebut telah ada table of summary of the previous work. That was the secondary literature. Kalau you dah baca satu paper di whereby you get the information daripada keputusan dalam paper tersebut, itu adalah primary. Contohnya, you gunakan apa tadi saya kata, lightweight material. So you cari paper berkaitan lightweight material menggunakan bahan A. So kalau orang gunakan bahan A, resultnya macam mana, kemudian you tengok result tu terus, itu adalah primary. But if you look at the paper, in that paper, they do have a table of comparison from the previous work. Mungkin ada 4-5 previous work. Table of comparison tu, that was the secondary literature. Di mana writer that wrote the paper already compiled the result from the previous research. Faham And then what is it? The tertiary literature. This is where you combine maybe papers, journals, report. This is tertiary literature. Jadi bila you nak cari research, contohnya you buat assignment you buat group work you nak cari betul-betul paper yang valid on how to solve or applicable method in solving the flash flood atau flood. You cari bukan saja dari Google Scholar, you boleh cari dari Science Direct, EBSCOhost, Medline, dan ini adalah valid where to research your informations. So what to look for? Bila you cari information, apa yang you cari? You kena tengok over the time. So time frame yang terbaik adalah 5 tahun ke belakang. Okay. Kemudian you kena tengok keywords dia. Okay. And then you have to see in the paper what are the debates that or advantage or disadvantage in the paper. And then what are the research gaps. Jadi you kena buat research gap yang pernah ni kan oleh orang lain, bukan repeat aja. So example of trend and gaps. As most of the research focus on development nanoparticle in environmental study. So kebanyakannya akan menggunakan nanoparticle dalam environmental. So dekat mana gapnya? Ada tak gap? So dalam environment kita ada banyak area. Udara, air dan juga tanah. Adakah application nanoparticle telah banyak digunakan dalam air? Kalau air pula kita ada pelbagai air. Kita ada air apa? We have the industrial wastewater. We have the surface water. We have the groundwater. Jadi applicationnya telah digunakan di mana? Jadi you kena cuba tempat yang orang belum gunakan. Critical review and writing skill. In the outline the structure of the critical review. So you have to outline by using methodological. You have to draw the sources from the most. Macam mana nak draw the sources? Saya kata from the most from the most general general idea to the most specific idea, daripada satu yang general kepada satu yang specific. And then based on theory. Sekiranya itu adalah teori, info tersebut melebihi 5 tahun masih boleh digunakan. And then chronology. Chronology approach. Chronology basically the approach to trace the development over the time frame as well. And then thematic, tema, mengikut tema-tema tertentu. So bila you buat literature, sebelum you buat literature, you bukan terus tulis. Apa you kena buat adalah you mesti ada introductions daripada literature tersebut. Kemudian you ada body of the literature. Sebelum you buat body literature, apa you kena buat? Subtopic. Subtopic dia. Jadi subtopic, macam mana nak buat subtopic? Look at the title. Look at the title of your FYP project or what. Daripada title tersebut, macam biasa nak buat subtopik, senaraikan daripada yang paling general to the more specific. Mula-mula you ada introduction, kemudian you nak buat body. Sama macam you buat assignment, bukan terus tulis dan buat. Ya, bukan. Tetapi bila you dapat tajuk assignment, mula-mula you mesti ada introductions. Bila you nak buat literature, kemudian you ada body. Dekat body dia tu apa you nak isikan? So, you mesti buat subtopik dulu. Macam mana nak buat subtopik? Tengok balik tajuk yang you cadangkan tu. Tajuknya apa? Jadi, please refer back to the title. Setelah you dapat tajuk tersebut, barulah you akan clusterkan. Dari tajuk tersebut, what is the general idea? And then what is the second general idea until what is the specific idea? Satu-satu you akan buat sehingga you dapat specific idea. Kemudian setelah you selesaikan semua subtopik, you akan bahagian terakhir literature adalah concluding remark atau conclusion. Dalam concluding remark tidak ada lagi citation. Dalam introduction, di dalam subtopik ini mesti ada apa? Citation, references. Perlu diletakkan references. Contohnya Ali 2021. Jadi setiap subtopik bila you menulis mesti ada references, wajib. Yang ini I will see when you write your individual assignment as well as group. Group saya sangat particular. Kalau you tidak ada references, memang saya akan tolak markah yang banyak. Jadi kalau you tidak tahu macam mana nak buat body, you can draft your title. Draft tu maksudnya beri tajuk, kemudian introduction nanti you tulis, kemudian you boleh share dengan saya subtopik. Setiap kumpulan boleh share dengan saya subtopik. Apa subtopik yang you cadangkan? Supaya saya boleh verify adakah betul atau salah. And then finally your concluding remarks. Ini sangat penting. What do and don't in writing a literature? So sebelum you bukan satu perkara yang don't bukan copy dan paste. Because kenapa kalau you copy dengan paste, saya akan suruh you hantar the copy in the forms of CD or what. So saya boleh trace dengan menggunakan AI sama ada you copy atau paste saja. And then in most situations, student that copy and paste, dia terlupa font pun dia tak betulkan apa dan sebagainya. That is more easier for me to trace it. So please do not only copy and paste, okay? Try your best to make the notes first and working with the source. You kena ambil dulu macam mana dah tulis subtopik. Kalau you tak pandai nak tulis, you ambil dulu ayat tersebut, kemudian you have to reword, okay? And then don't pick the topic that is too narrow or too broad. Jangan buat sesuatu yang terlampau general atau terlampau spesifik sebab nanti susah you akan nak cari maklumat. Jadi jangan hanya ambil dari satu paper kemudian you sum. Itu pun ni especially your group kalau you ambil macam tu pun dia tidak ada implikasi daripada segi literature and then bila you nak submit kepada you punya superior, kepada saya, tolong baca. Kerana bila saya tengok je, I can trace your mistake directly. And then you come to me say, please doctor, I want to have more marks. How am I going to increase the mark? Dah saya tengok banyak sangat error. Okay? So you have to see the thick one. Do make the notes, do keep bibliography references. Dapatkan references cukupnya. Sila tanya saya sekiranya tak faham. Kalau tak tahu nak tulis macam mana, nak buat subtopik, nak mula menulis macam mana, saya kata buat dulu subtopik. You ada bahagian literature kan, you buat dulu subtopik. Jangan terus tulis. Kalau you terus tulis nanti you crash. You tak tahu yang mana general idea and then yang mana specific idea. So and then do organize your topic very well. So itu sahaja. Saya bagi 5 minit break sebelum saya sambung nota